Oh man, is there anything worse than pulling out of your driveway, glancing at your license plate, and realizing your tags expire today? Welcome to another explainer. We're going to completely simplify Missouri's online vehicle registration process, saving you time, money, and honestly, a whole lot of bureaucratic stress. If you've ever dreaded seeing that renewal envelope show up in your mailbox, this explainer is going to change your life.
Let's be totally honest here. Just the thought of the license office line is enough to spike your blood pressure, right? You're probably picturing those hard plastic chairs, the confusing paperwork, basically a completely wasted afternoon. But trust me on this, there's a way better, much simpler route that lets you bypass that waiting room entirely.
You can literally skip the line, save your precious time, and handle the whole shebang right from your couch. This explainer is perfectly designed for complete beginners. We're going to break down the digital process so it's a totally stress-free, unintimidating journey. You'll be able to confidently knock this out in just a few clicks.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll start with a quick introduction to online renewal, then jump into preparing for your renewal, the step-by-step process itself, troubleshooting common issues, what actually happens after renewing, and finally, we'll wrap up with some FAQs and additional resources.
Okay, let's get into it. Section 1. Introduction to Online Renewal.
So why even do this online? Well, it's vastly superior to the old-school way. We're talking 24/7 convenience from literally any device. That means absolutely zero waiting in physical lines. Plus, and this is a real game changer, you get an instant temporary registration receipt, all processed through the highly secure Missouri Department of Revenue portal. It's basically instant peace of mind.
Moving right along to Section 2. Preparing for your renewal. Now, before we even open up a web browser, let's gather our tools. Actually, go ahead and take a screenshot of this checklist right now. Having these 4 specific items ready is absolutely crucial to keep the system from rejecting you. First, you need your vehicle registration renewal notice. That's the paper with your PIN on it. Second, your Missouri safety or emission certificate, making sure it's not more than 60 days old, if that applies to your specific car. Then grab your paid personal property tax receipt for the last 1 or 2 years, and finally, your current insurance ID card.
Now, what if you're a new resident to Missouri, or maybe you just didn't own a car last year? Well, here's the term you definitely need to know, the Statement of Non-Assessment. Instead of a standard tax receipt, you'll get this certificate from your county. It's just a piece of paper proving you didn't owe property taxes last year, and it totally clears the way for you to register your vehicle.
All right, you're prepped and ready. Let's hit Section 3, the step-by-step process. Here is exactly how this workflow plays out online. Step 1 is access and login. You'll punch in your plate number, vehicle year, zip code, and that PIN we just talked about. Step 2 is database verification. And honestly, the portal does the heavy lifting for you here. It automatically checks your taxes, emissions, and insurance records against the state database. Easy, right? Step 3 is term selection, where you pick either a 1- or 2-year renewal. And finally, Step 4, checkout and payment. Log in, pick your term, and pay. Boom. Done.
But hey, quick heads up. When you hit that checkout screen, check out this fee breakdown. If you pay by an electronic bank draft, also known as an e-check, it's just a flat 50-cent fee. Pocket change. But if you whip out a debit or credit card, you're going to get hit with a 2% plus 25-cent fee per transaction. So to put that into perspective, taking an extra minute to use an e-check is significantly cheaper.
Let's pivot a bit. Section 4. Troubleshooting common renewal issues. Sometimes things just don't go according to plan. If you hit a roadblock during the digital process, it's almost always one of these common pitfalls. For instance, your county collector might just be running behind on uploading the personal property tax data. Other typical speed bumps include trying to renew a leased vehicle, having specialized plates that require physical document checks, driving a massive truck license for 54,000 pounds or more, or simply the fact that your specific insurance provider doesn't digitally share data with Missouri.
Okay, so what if the digital route totally fails you? Don't stress. You have 2 really solid backup plans. Option A is the mail-in renewal. You just send Form 184 and your docs to Jefferson City. This is perfect if you're not in a rush. Option B is heading to a contract license office. There are 182 of these physical locations scattered across Missouri, and this is absolutely your best bet for same-day printing and on-the-spot problem solving.
And you know what? If you are just completely stuck and the system keeps saying no, the Department of Revenue actually has dedicated staff ready to help you out. You can give them a call directly at 573-751-1957 or shoot an email over to mvbccallbacks@dor.mo.gov.
Okay, back to the happy path. Section 5. What happens after renewing?
Listen up, because this part is absolutely vital. The very most important thing you must do the second your online transaction goes through, print your temporary vehicle registration receipt. Seriously, print it right then and there and go stick it directly in your glove box. That piece of paper is your legal proof of registration. So what's the timeline look like? It goes exactly like this. Day 1, you finish the transaction and print that temporary receipt. Around day 14, you should be checking your mailbox because your actual physical plates or tabs will arrive. And circle day 30 on your calendar because that is when your temporary paper receipt officially turns into a pumpkin and expires. But yeah, generally you'll just use the paper receipt for a couple of weeks.
Almost done. Let's wrap things up with Section 6, FAQs and additional resources.
$5. That is the penalty fee the state slaps you with if you fail to renew your plates by the very last day of your expiration month. I know, $5 might not sound like a huge deal, but honestly, why pay it if you don't have to? Definitely do not procrastinate on this. Now, I see a lot of people getting tripped up over the 2-year renewal option, but it's actually super simple. It all boils down to matching your vehicle's model year to the calendar year. A 1-year registration? That's available for literally any vehicle, anytime. But for a 2-year registration, odd model year vehicles can only choose it in odd calendar years. And, yep, you guessed it, even model year vehicles in even calendar years. Oh, and you will definitely need 2 years of tax receipts to cover that longer term. Before we go, here are a few extra golden nuggets of advice for those weird edge cases. What if your shiny new tabs just mysteriously vanish in the mail? Don't panic, just submit Form 1576 to get replacements. What if a rock smashed your windshield and you got it replaced? Good news, you don't need a brand new safety sticker. Just hold on to the white approval slip. And if you ever need a duplicate title, all it takes is Form 108 and an $8.50 fee. Just a quick heads up, a little disclaimer for you before we finish. This explainer provides guidance based on current procedures and definitely does not replace official Missouri Department of Revenue advice. You know how it is. Policies and fees can change out of nowhere, so always verify the details directly with the Missouri DOR using the links we talked about today.
So, I have to ask, are you ready to confidently skip that DMV line and renew online? It really makes you wonder, right? Like, how many other frustrating bureaucratic chores could be this painless if we just took 5 minutes to figure out the digital route? If this explainer saved you a miserable trip to the license office, hit that subscribe button for more helpful guides. Drop any leftover questions down in the comments, and as always, keep learning efficiently.